Hey everybody, it's our first day of SHOT Show, and man, we got some cool stuff to show you. So, tell you what, let's just get into it. So yesterday we actually went out and got all of our media badges, and like we got all of our cool stuff, and somehow we convinced them that we were supposed to be there, which was pretty awesome. After that we went up and actually saw, what was the other, on the 5th floor, what did we go visit?
It was a supplier showcase. Yeah,
so this supplier showcase, we had all these really great people that we met that we were really surprised to see, particularly one of my favorite companies. Remind me who that was, Jason?
Armor Lube.
Armor Lube. So they're actually the ones who do the coating for the staccatos, and their coating is ridiculous. And I'll tell you what, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves, so let's actually go back to the beginning. So we'll show you them at the end of today, but at the beginning of today, we went and saw Valhalla Tactical. What were your thoughts about them?
Oh my gosh, man. Blew my mind.
Absolutely crazy. So I can't wait to run this footage and show you what they offer, because that jacket,
oh, I want one.
It is the coolest. All right, we're going to show it to you right now.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fry with Valhalla Tactical. This is our new concealed carry jacket. I'm about to demonstrate that for you.
Did your jaw hit the floor like ours did when we first saw that?
Yeah.
We love that jacket.
So rather than doing a concealed draw from appendix with 2 motions, you literally just get it with 1 smooth motion. It also allows you to get a full, complete purchase on the firearm before you decide to draw. So if you're unsure of the situation and you don't want to know, you don't know if you need to draw, or unsure if it's going to escalate, you don't have to show. You don't have to move your hands around or anything. Your hands look like they're inside your pocket, and I've got a complete purchase on this weapon.
So for a complete purchase, he can have his hands hidden away and have a full-on grip on his gun without anyone seeing what's going on.
And I thought that was the coolest, because a situation may escalate and you don't know where it's going to go, and you don't necessarily have to present anything, but you still could be ready for a situation based on whatever's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can even take it out and point it to the side like that, and no one knows what you've done because it's in your pocket. And you also have actual pockets in as well.
So think of it that way. You have a threat. You don't know if it's a threat. You've drawn, and you've kind of got a bead on the correct location, but everyone just looks at you and thinks your hands are in your pockets.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. I can't wait to see that jacket. I can't wait to get my hands on that jacket. So another cool thing Valhalla does is actually has some really cool offset mounts, and they're going to show you some really cool stuff that I think is actually going to make red dot offsets like way less annoying, as you can actually adjust it and move everything into position.
Hi, Jeff Fry with Valhalla Tactical. This is our adjustable offset mount, the Rook. It's designed for the 193 height setups. It's an articulating mount that can actually swing out past 45 degrees and be snugged up as close to the optics as you'd like it. Because no two people's mechanics are the same. Some people want it rolled over a little more, so you'd have it out at 45 or a little past it. Some people like just a real short movement. It's all purely preference. It's the only offset mount that will adjust to you rather than you adjusting to it, which is good, so you don't have to do a lot of training to train yourself what comes naturally already for you. So that's our Rook. Fully ambidextrous, you can flip from side to side. It also comes in absolute co-witness tower heights. The optic plates are available for most any optic that's out there, and they're also modular and go in between our Scotty and our hanger mount.
So this is really neat, because as a shooter, my position might be a quick flick of the wrist, and that's where my preferred position is.
Where mine may be totally different, and that's the problem we ran into when we started talking about different offset red dot mounts. You never knew quite what angle they were. So you may get one in and realize it's way too close to an optic, or way too far, or just not even in the right position. So I really like how this is adjustable. So one of our concerns was exactly what height their actual, their offset red dot mount is. Because if it's at co-witness, and then your optics at 1.93, then that's just not going to work. So we want to see what his answer to the actual height of the actual mount was.
So the Rook is designed for the 193 height optics. So most LPVOs mounts are going to be at 193. So when you're actually running your rifle, when you roll it, it pops directly into your dominant eye's view without changing your cheek weld at all. So literally it's minimum movement. You can control it both arms, just one.
So one of the things that we were concerned about is if you present and you got your LPVO and then you transition to a red dot that's at a lower height, now you're transitioning and bringing your head down and trying to find that red dot. And it seems like they have an answer for that.
Yeah.
So different heights, you would have to change your cheek weld. So if you turned it and you had to search for your reticle, you'd have to be doing one of these things trying to find it, which the whole purpose of a transition for an offset, the LPVO is for long range precision. You get into a close quarters combat situation where you want all of your peripheral vision simply just roll over, and you don't want to be searching for that. You want it to immediately pop into your eye, which that's why it's designed to work with the 193 setups. So it immediately pops into view. You have all your peripheral vision still, and so you should be a lot more dangerous in a close quarters combat battle.
And one thing Valhalla Tactical talked about is kind of this like circle. They try to complete the circle, this whole
arc.
Or the arc, yeah. So what it means is your optic's going to be at the center of that circle, and then your red dot, your offset, needs to be within that arc. And if it's not, that's when your head you have to kind of adjust and then come down. So that was really pretty cool. The other thing they had that was awesome, they also have some red dot mounts that are to die for.
This is our new red dot mount, the Scotty. This red dot mount is also designed to work with the 193 height, so it's compatible with night vision. Cool thing about this QD, you'll notice it has no external levers to get caught on anything. You know, your sling, your clothing, what have you. It's a QD mount, and it literally pops off. You take a 5.56 round or the tip of your knife, punch it right into that thing, and the titanium clamping mechanism will disengage, so you can get rid of this, swap it out, whatever.
So the thing that I liked about that is you got a really low profile. It's relatively easy to get off, but it seems like it's just rock solid on that rail.
Yeah, I was really impressed by it. And the thing they showed us next was actually another optical mount that you can actually attach to your actual scope or LPVO and then still get that offset red dot.
So this is our hanger mount. It works with the same co-arc technology. So without changing the cheek weld, with a simple roll, it pops immediately into your dominant eye's view. Now it looks a little wonky, but in order to sight this in, you just swap your windage and elevation because it's rotated 90 degrees from how a normal offset would be. So that's really simplified. And it works with aero precision and ADM mounts. You can flip it left to right for ambidextrous shooters. You can mount it forward or behind your turrets. For clearance, it's just, that's all personal preference.
So in the offset red dot game, this kind of solves a different problem altogether, I think, where instead of actually moving it to the offset, you're now mounting it on the actual optic. And you don't have to have a crazy mount or special heights or special adapters. You've just actually attached it to your LPVO, and then you can just roll over and see it that way. I thought that was really cool, and I'd love to play with that longer term to kind of see how it functions and what it looks like in terms of transitions and multi-targets and all that.
Yeah, and what type of training you're going to need to train yourself to work with that red dot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as he was there showing us these mounts, we kept glancing over at some of the guns that they had on display and saw a light switch that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and maybe on something from HRT. Let's go check it out.
ODA light switch. Doesn't matter which direction, how you touch it. It's an omnidirectional activation switch. So if you're running gloves, like in a cold environment, or like I normally run gloves when I shoot, I mean, you can literally just like put pressure on it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It takes no training. Somebody who's like a newbie with guns will know how to operate this thing.
So we both got to play with that actual switch, and I think we were both pretty surprised how much we actually enjoyed it. I was a little bit concerned at first of like, what do you mean it just kind of, you know, activates whatever? But it really does. You can come at it from any angle and activate it and then still press it and do the constant on. I really liked it.
And I think the thing that really proved that is as a lefty and as a righty, that light never changed the side. It was the same side. So for me, as a righty, coming over with a C grip, I was able to get good contact with my thumb reaching over the rail.
And as a lefty, I could come over the same side and just tap that with my thumb or even on my knuckle. We really love that. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, and we're really loving these Valhalla guys. So big thanks to HRT for sending us to go see them. The Valhalla guys are absolutely awesome. But there's some mag pouches that we absolutely have to show you.
Yeah.
These are our new mag carriers, our new mag pouches. They're super lightweight, made out of 1,000 Cordura.
So we may or may not have some of these, and these are absolutely awesome. I can't wait to test these out. I honestly want to change out some stuff on some of our upcoming reviews from some of the mag pouches we were going to use, and use the Valhalla Tactical. And the coolest thing is the way these connect is Tigris. We were notified that we've been saying Tegris incorrectly for quite some time. There's actually Tigris that are kind of like malice clips. We'll do our best to show these to you.
We just gotta say, big thanks to Valhalla. We absolutely fell in love with these guys. At the end of the day, we came back and saw them again, but right now, we're gonna head over to HRT, and Walsh actually introduced me to Chris for the first time.
Yeah, and they got some really cool stuff to show us, so wait till you see this.
Hey guys, my name is Chris from HRT Tactical Gear. I just want to say thanks for Thin Line Defense Company for stopping by. Today I want to show you guys the L-back, the load-bearing adaptive carrier. It's designed to distribute weight more efficiently over the shoulders, through the back, as well as rigid cummerbunds. The rigid cummerbunds are so that if an individual wants to carry plates on their cummerbunds for side plates, it doesn't have that bend nor the sag. It's going to be using the same proprietary connecting points for placards, panels, for the rack, as well as the placards and stuff for anything that would fit on the H-rack as well. So if you already own those systems, the L-back is just a simple filter towards just an upgraded and a slightly more load-bearing capable system. It's going to come in all of our normal colors that we have available, from solid to different camo patterns. We're looking at starting this out at about a $450 price tag for MSRP. We'll get a finalized price tag on it once we actually have the release. We're looking at a late Q1 release or Q2 release.
So Jason's still geeking out over the mags while we're listening to Chris.
Oh, sorry.
But what we want to know is, well, we can get a chance to see this plate carrier and show it off to you.
So we're looking at the possibility in the future to get this out to Thin Line Defense. That way they get a chance to run it sometime after we get through the T&E portions on this. The Modulus System, we released this originally in 2021, but we've never really had the opportunity to push this out to the world in a large show environment like this. It is a modular system. The two front pouches can be adjusted, one on the left, one on the right. It has a very similar feel to a Maximus if you've ran a Maximus before. The inserts rip out, allows you to do heavy, subgun, AR M4 style, as well as the zipper if you're looking to move more towards a medical system. The thing that it doesn't have are the rigid pouches on the side that the Maximus has. And the last thing is it's going to be just a little bit shorter. So if you're looking for a little bit more real estate compared to what the Maximus gives, that is a big difference between the two.
So one thing that confuses me, I just want to make sure it was clear, like, Jason, what exactly does it mean by it's shorter?
I have no idea. Ask him.
Oh, yeah.
So by shorter, what this is going to do is it's going to allow the person to have a little bit more real estate purchase when they go for their magazines that they're pulling off of the plate carrier, or the harness system that can be ran with this as well. Some of the feedback that we received off the Maximus was, we really like it. It's one of the best on the market right now, but we would like a little bit more purchase. And the reason why we went that way is so that these pouches would fit better. It was kind of hard to build them out to a larger size, so we decided to go a little bit shorter and make a few adjustments, give a little bit more real estate purchase as well.
So we joke, but we do see a lot of plate carriers and placards where the mags, you can't really get a hold of them, and it's really nice to see that the new design is actually going to give us some more room on that actual magazine to get a good purchase onto. So I'm excited to see it. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I'm really interested in just the carrier as a whole. You talked about something very similar. When I saw this, I was kind of blown away seeing it in person.
All right, so let's see what he has to say more about this L-back.
All right, so the L-back, it's going to be very similar to what you would get with the rack as far as being able to attach your placards as well as your back panels. But if you'll notice on the front, the significant difference between this shoulder strap as well as this shoulder strap, it definitely widens out, gives you a better purchase for carry, distributes the weight a lot more. I'm going to say from my time actually running this from the T&E perspective, This is definitely my favorite plate carrier out of all the plate carriers that we have in our stables. Probably my third favorite, followed by with the Hrt coming in at number 2. But this is probably one of the best plate carriers that we have on the market right now. It's our best seller. Our L-back, we're basically going to be pushing this out, like I said, probably around a Q2, Q1. We want to make sure that we get as much information out on it as possible. So before we do our official release, we are going to make sure that we have some information put out about it. We're going to go into details about setup. We're going to make sure that we go into details about the way that certain things plug and play. That way we have the information out there, so if there's any questions, upon the reviews that we're able to get out there on the market, we want to make sure that that information is out there to the general public.
So as we were geeking out, I looked over and saw that Tigris on the cummerbund and had to ask Chris about it.
So the cummerbund system that we're going to be using with the L-back, it's going to be a Tigris-based system, and then it's going to have a Molly system that will pull over. It's going to allow you to attach ballistic plates as well as pouches to be able to fill out your mission capacity set. The QD that you can see behind here, they're going to be small rock buckles. That way it keeps with the tradition of us using the rock buckles. So instead of using the large on the 3 panels, this is going to be a much smaller system, but much more stable than even what the 3 panels are.
And what was even more interesting too, as we were looking at it and just totally geeking out about it, we noticed that the actual Tigris, look like the inserts, actually go underneath the actual front placard into some sort of, I don't know, pocketed area. So we made sure to ask Chris about that too.
So the Tigris is going to feed into a small little pouch that has a reinforcement piece on it, and it's going to allow so that the Tigris isn't going to be ripping away or causing tears. And that's going to feed closer to the front, and it's going to create a much more stable carrying capacity by connecting all the way from the rear to the front.
So I never messed with any of the HRT plate carriers, and so I don't know what to compare it to, but the padding on that L-back seemed pretty legit.
It actually reminded me a lot of the K19, which really excites me as to how comfortable that setup is. So let's ask Chris a little bit more about that padding.
So with the shoulder straps, one thing that we've also done is it does have enough padding to basically give you the relief that you're really wanting, but it's not so over padded that it's going to make it really hard to get a purchase with the stock.
And seeing that really cool padding they used, I really kind of wanted his opinion on just how comfortable it really was, until we can get our hands on it and try it out for ourselves.
So as far as comfort level goes, the way that it just pushes out in a wider fashion, it just distributes the weight much more efficiently. So basically it's going to run from where the collarbone runs into the shoulder deltoid area, and it's going to push up a little bit into the trap. By separating that weight in this area a little bit more efficiently, it keeps it off of the neck, and it keeps it from just being in a very small area, allows better circulation, and it makes you feel like it's not as much weight on your shoulders throughout the day.
So I've talked to Not Jason a little bit about this when we're on the trip as to why the Eagle Ergo works so great in some different configurations, and this is one of them. And I see a lot of similarities here where it's so comfortable because it's actually taking all the weight off your shoulders. Like I said though, I want to wear it and try it, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, and so the next thing was something that we teased about a little earlier, but it's that new Hrt Flashlight.
So this is going to be our new light. They're going to be coming into 2 bodies. Currently we're in testing and evaluation on this, but we wanted to get this out as soon as we could, just to kind of give everybody that there is going to be hopefully a new light system in our future. It's going to have approximately 90,000 candela and 1,700 lumens. But the big factor on this is going to be the ODA tail cap.
So again, we see this fantastic tail cap that you mount the light in one position, lefty or righty, you get a good purchase on activating that light no matter where your hand really is.
Yeah, I was really a big fan, so yeah. We'll quit talking and we'll just keep showing it to you.
So the ODA tail cap stands for Omnidirectional Activator. It's basically, you would be able to buy this in 3 parts. You could buy it in the head, the body, or the tail cap. It's designed to fit with Surefire, Modlite, Arasaka, and any other tubes that are designed to work within a Surefire family. This would also be able to have the tail cap removed. With the tail cap removed, you could also add a tail switch. The idea is to be able to take advantage of the power of the batteries into the head. We're still doing some final modifications to get it to where we want it as far as the throw as well as the spill, but we think this is going to be a very competitive light on the market when we finally get it released.
So, of course, I had to ask Chris, when is he going to give this thing to Walsh so he could be done with it in his backyard?
And the idea is basically we want to get this out to the guys over at Thin Line Defense because we would like for them to review this once we get a final light system in place. That way we can get some feedback from them, and if we come out with a Gen 2 or we come out with a new light head, that way we can get some feedback and hopefully make this product so much better.
So I want to say a huge thanks to Chris from HRT. He's been nothing but like family to us, letting us see all kinds of cool gear and show off all this cool stuff to you guys on the channel. So my heart really goes out to him. He's just absolutely amazing, and he's just an amazingly good people, and I love working with that company. And that's a good segue because we're now moving to Spiritus systems for our next exhibitor.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure one of those guys wanted to punch you in the face.
Well, they did block me on Instagram, I do think.
What's up, guys? This is Ben with Spiritus Systems.
Wait. So, how long do you think it was until they realized it was you?
It was right about this moment.
So, going to give you all a quick overview of what we're doing out here at SHOT Show and some of the new products. So, start with the Mark IV. Most people are familiar with this. We've been making this system for some time. Still available, and it will be for a long time to come. We recently released the Mark V. We're announcing it here at SHOT Show. It should be available later this year. This is not replacing the Mark IV. It's just going to be concurrent with and offer a few different features for people that need something different. So by itself, the Mark V chassis is single cell. We have lash points at the top for tie downs if you need them. It's still going to accept our legacy inserts, so all the same stuff that works with the Mark IV from an insert standpoint also works with this. Molly for the front if you need to attach anything. Legacy pouches, we also have some pouches I'll get to in a second that we're releasing for it. Same lash points as the Mark IV, along with Molly and lash points for tourniquets, pistol pouches, or other accessories that you may want to put on here. It's also going to work as a chest rig and a placard. With the Mark V announcement, we've also released the CCS pouch. So the CCS was made in mind for people that needed to carry more than what a Mark IV can. We have a front section here that's designed for ATAC systems, KDUs, things of that nature. We've noticed that military guys are kind of getting away from wearing things on their chest. So this allows them to have a stash point that's easily accessible. They can access their device, put it back when they need to, and retain it there. The pouch itself is significantly larger than the Mark IV front section. So you'll notice you can easily access more items and stow things as you need to. More sustainment oriented, not really a kitchen sink type of setup, but you can definitely carry more than the traditional Mark IV microfight. In addition to the Mark V suite, we're releasing a split front chest rig system. This will be available later this year. So this is more oriented towards assault, lightweight, non-sustainment oriented systems, snipers, reconnaissance, even assault type stuff. The chest rig itself has 3 inserts on the back side, 7.62, 5.56 in pistol and geometry, although as you can see, you can stuff whatever you need in there. These are some pouches we're playing with. This is called the Spud Pouch. So it's multi-mag capable. These are 2 7.62 pouches, also good for single mag and double mag 5.56 up to about 3 MP5 or grenades. So large CS, large smoke, up to a thermobaric. You'll notice the flap texture here. The working title of this is the pangolin series of pouches. Kind of looks like a pangolin, so we thought that was cool. But what this is really about is 2 reasons. It helps snag the mag pouches or the mags that you see here, and it can cinch them down and reduce movement. So when you're using, say, a subgun, 5.56 or other items, it can keep things very secure, keep things from moving around. If I go to a single mag configuration, I can use this nice little pull tab to cinch things up. So especially for smaller mags, subgun or 5.56, I can reduce the size of that pouch and make sure things are nice and easy, nice and snug. And you can see how the flap works. We're also releasing some other pouches to support this later on. Right now you're seeing this with the GP Tall, which is available, recently released. And you can see some of our other items. So the CCS is here for the Mark V. The GP Wide was released earlier this year, also works with the Mark V. And then we have our brunch box. It's a working title, but the design requirements for this came from the Army, and they wanted something about half the size of our lunchbox. And we're kind of playing with something different. So we have the ability to take 2 strip chargers on the front. The main pouch is about size for 2 flex linear or roll-up charges. And you can stow the fanny pack inside this section here. So if you don't want your straps, you can retain them there. And it can also be a sack pouch, able to hang off of your plate carrier front or rear. So that's the basic rundown on our chest rig systems over here. We can move over to plate carrier stuff if y'all want to get into that. All right guys, so this is something that's been out for a minute, but we're touching on it just because a lot of people don't know about the features available for this product. This is the Assaulter back panel. We worked pretty heavily with members of the Army and other areas on this panel, and it's got a lot of hidden features. So one of the complaints that we got on other legacy products out there is that other back panels are too big in general. Not that awesome for sitting in vehicles, aircraft, things of that nature. So at its basis form, we wanted something that was no bigger than the rear plate bag. So we have something that, when you mount it to a carrier, it's about that size. So I have 2 zippers on the side, and that all correlates to trying to make things smaller when possible. So this is the plate bag side. I can use this zipper to keep things super compressed. But when I need this internal space for hydration, tools, or other stuff, I can use it. I have lash points on the side for folding linears, so if I need to attach anything here for charge carriage or anything like that, I can do it. And I have pass-throughs here on either side that goes behind the main GP for strip charges, larger radio antennas, and things of that nature. When I need to make it large, carry hoolie, sledge, or other tools like that, I can get as large as this right here. The top section is swappable, so we can remove it for a GP flap, or if you look over here at this mannequin, we have a prototype papper flap on the mannequin. So this is something that's private menu. It's not available to the public. Not a lot of people use a papper of this nature, but for units that are doing subterranean operations or contaminated environments, this allows them to place a device like this that's usually worn on a belt or on MOLLE, usually kind of cumbersome and troublesome. Other than these items, we recently released the wing, and it's worth pointing out, we did a video on YouTube about it, but it's tubes compatible. So we have our tubes mount on our LV-119 plate carrier. There's a pass-through for the tube on the wing itself, but also there's an attachment point on the wing that allows you to retrofit it for other carriers. So for any traditional Velcro carriers like the JPC or similar, you can use this wing to make it tubes compatible. Other than that, we're announcing the release of the Delta bag. This is just finalized out of R&D, so we don't have a release date yet, hopefully by end of the year. And this was designed as an assault medic bag. So on the outer section, you kind of have your ABC or March protocol items, massive trauma, things of that nature. With the interior is a clamshell that's designed to hold drugs and other more fragile items. So it's not an assault panel, or it's not a back panel rather. It was designed as a medic pack, and so it's just a backpack. Medics have to be able to access their stuff, and so it's not integratable to an armor system. On the back here, you have stuff for flat items, hyphen seals, 9-line cards, things of that nature. The inner clamshell is good for drugs, and it's designed to lay open so that if I'm working or the medic is working in an area like this, they can access everything that they need and can easily go over to this side here. These zippers actually apply tension, so when these pouches are full, you can leave them open and generally be able to access everything easily. There's no digging through a stack of items. You can get it what you need, close it, get at your drugs, and keep working. We're going to be releasing some more organizer systems for the inside. This is Velcro, so we're going to have placards and other items to retain medical equipment, drugs, more smaller items with the larger items here. There's top organizer for shears and lash points for tourniquets or other things here on the sides. Price point on this is TBD, but we expect it to be less than $400. Other than medical stuff, we have this being fielded for EOD and TSE purposes. It's actively out in the military right now. We expect that it should be released end of the year.
Well, and then we left there without getting anybody too angry.
Maybe.
So for the next exhibitor, we actually went over and saw OpsCore, and we found some really cool optics and lenses that we definitely want to show you guys that we're hoping to show off on, you know, just some everyday use, and then some cool stuff we can show on our OpsCore SF helmet that we got from Gentex also.
Corey Macheski, Optics Product Manager at Gentex OpsCore. I'm going to show you the OpsCore Mark I. This is an all aluminum frame. We have it in 4 different colors. This is the tan Cerakote color with the laser dazzle lens, great for visible laser threats. High transmission, so great for nighttime use, but we also offer in 4 different lens variations, clear, tint, and high contrast.
So I'm a big fan of the actual Gators glasses. I like the actual like metal frames and everything they do. And it was really cool to see that OpsCore was kind of this upgraded. Like, that's kind of how it felt like to me. So I'm really hoping to kind of show those OpsCore glasses and the Gators side by side because they seemed really similar in their operation. But they had more cool stuff to show us, so we'll quit talking.
Another cool one to show you is the OpsCore Step-In Visor, compatible with all of the arc rail systems on our helmets. Removable gasket, so you can get more ventilation if you want. Put it back on if you want this to fit closer. This product literally steps into your face, so it's compatible with NVGs. Full ballistic performance on this. And a new lens variation that we're releasing this year is the Photochromic Lens. So it's transitioning from a clear state to a dark state super quickly, so you no longer have to switch between lenses.
So I thought the technology in just those goggles was pretty awesome. You could actually see that transition that fast. And I want to say big thanks to OpsCore. We're like this small channel. We're just kind of, you know, showing you guys what we can show you. And they took the time out of their day to show us that. They were super nice to us. So, you know, big thanks to them for being so kind to us.
Well, we did just come from Spiritus.
This is true.
But after this, we actually had a chance to go back upstairs and talk to Jason from Armor Lube.
Oh, you guys are going to love this.
Okay, hey guys, I'm Jason with Armor Lube. Welcome to SHOT Show 2022. We're here displaying some of our current customers and meeting new people and hopefully to get new customers out here. So I just want to talk to you for a minute about Armor Lube. We do a DLC coating which is applied through PECVD, which is Plasma Enhanced Chemical Vapor Deposition. We have our standard black, which comes in at about 7 microns thick. It's a 0.01 coefficient of friction, and the wear on it is just amazing. If you take a knife and you want to run it through your gun a whole bunch and do a whole bunch of scratch tests on it.
So I wish I would have known what he was going to do when Walsh asked me for my knife.
It just wipes right off when you're done. So when we're done firing and shooting, it's none of that pulling oil out and cleaning everything. You just bring it out, wipe it off with a towel, put it back in there.
So I have to say, it's kind of interesting. That coating is awesome. I have it on my Staccato, and it looks brand new, and I beat the hell out of it. That DLC coating, if you can get it on anything, I highly recommend it. But we'll let them keep showing it to you.
Tried and true with a lot of our pistols. Staccato is one of our customers. We do shoot a lot with them and tested over 40,000 rounds per gun when we did them. They handle very great. Last wear, no holster wear on them. We brought in a whole bunch of stuff. I brought some Rugers out here where we did some Kydex taper wears, and it shows the difference of a Kydex holster wear at 500 rounds on theirs, which is just a QPQ or a black nitride. Our Armor Lube one has 1,000 holster pulls through it, and as you can see, very little wear. We've developed a little bit more in the process of DLCs over the last year. We've come out with our new blue DLC. We don't have a name for it yet, but it's just as hard. It's about 9 microns thick, and it's a new color provided by DLC without sputtering metal. So it's done as a true PECVD. So we choose to use the PECVD DLC over your standard DLC or a black nitride for a lot of reasons, but the main ones is lubricity. It's got a coefficient of friction of 0.01, and the wear resistance on it is just amazing. We've done multiple salt fog tests on there to show how it handles versus anything else on the market right now. It is being written in for the mil spec for hopefully first quarter of 2023.
What?
Basically, it makes it really easy to clean and it lasts a long time.
Oh, got it.
So I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out and seeing us at SHOT Show 2022. And if you have any questions, please look us up online. It's armorlube.com and reach out. We'd love to talk to you guys.
So I hope you enjoyed our video about our first day of SHOT Show. We don't know exactly when this is going to be released, but we want you guys to be able to comment down below about the different places you want us to go to on our second day.
Yeah, and we'll spend the day reading through the comments as we're walking around and try to stop by and check out those places that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, and we really want that viewer interaction. If there's someone you really want to see, we're going to make it a point to go see them. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed. We had a super fun time, and hopefully we don't get beat up tomorrow by someone random. All right, everybody.
See you guys. Hopefully you don't get beat up tomorrow by somebody random.